today marks 1 year to the day since the new 737 MAX airplane for Boeing was grounded, where Boeing stands today in getting the planes back in the air.
Not long after the grounding, the U.S. Department of Justice opened a criminal investigation into how the 737 MAX was certified to fly, despite its obvious flaws with the computer system. Shortly after, Boeing made its first cut to the MAX line in Renton, reducing production from 52 airplanes per month to 42.
Which one is your relative?
Then the lawsuits started pouring in. Families of the 346 people who died in the two MAX crashes wanted Boeing to be held accountable. Many families have settled out of court. Some cases are still pending. In October of last year, the first official investigation was made public. Indonesia's version of the FAA faulted Boeing with the first MAX crash of Lion Air Flight 610, saying the planes needed better cockpit design and stronger oversight. Also that month, former CEO Dennis Muhlenberg was called to testify before Congress. It didn't go well, and he's since been replaced. Then this past January, the doomsday scenario. Boeing halted MAX production entirely in Renton. The factory is still at a standstill. And earlier this week, the latest chapter was written when Ethiopia released the final report of the second MAX crash, again, faulting Boeing and the 737 MAX design.
Now, the Department of Justice has not announced any criminal charges from this investigation. The big question everyone's asking, though, when will the MAX be able to fly again? No word yet on when the grounding will be lifted.
They keep delaying it at this point, so we don't know when that's going to be.
Still trying to fix the software issue and now the wiring bundling issue. So still some checks to make before passengers are allowed to fly.